Welcome back to Melissa's Experience, also known as Mel's XP. Now this is a Rhythm in Britain production where I, Melissa Dee, bring you along with me as I go to some of my favourite R&B concerts and events and intimate shows that are here in this London. Because obviously people are always talking about, oh, we don't have enough R&B events. We do. Sometimes you just don't know where to find them. So let us go there for you, review it for you, show you what the vibe is, see if it's your vibe. And if it is, you'll go to the next one. Now, in this episode, we are going to be reviewing Cross the Tracks, London's #1 soul and jazz festival. Cross the Tracks was held at Brockwell Park on Sunday, the 25th of May. And we got to go. Rhythm in Britain got to go. We were front and center. We were in the mix with everything that happened. We are going to go through everything that happened. I was actually on stage. I was lucky enough to be hosting stage number 3, Derailed Stage. And this was stage 3 out of 5. Again, we are going to get into it because I personally think the organization of Cross the Tracks in terms of like logistics was nicely done. I liked it and I will get into the why later. Cross the Tracks Festival is on every single year. I personally feel like it's a staple for a lot of people when it comes to listening to some good old jazz, soul, neo soul, funk. Like it really targets a certain audience, and those for me, you're my people. You're my people, because let me tell you who was on the lineup, and then obviously you will know whether Cross the Tracks is for you next year or not. Now, across the lineup, we had a number of headliners. Of course, we have different stages, so there's definitely going to be different headliners for different stages. But obviously, the main headliner, the main attraction of the entire thing was Miss Badu, Miss Baduism, Miss Mama's Gun, Erykah Badu. Now, I'm not going to say that with too much excitement because I don't want you to get hyped up and think, oh, in this video, we're going to get Erykah Badu footage. We're not. She didn't come. She didn't end up coming. So here's what happened. Like, I want to say an hour before the doors opened, I think that's when Cross the Tracks found out that, oh, Erykah Badu is not going to be in attendance. Erykah was not well, so she couldn't come. So we had no headliner. Now, let's be honest. As a concert goer, as a festival goer, a lot of people come for the headliner. A lot of people love to come for just the one act. And I don't blame them in this instance because Erykah's not performed here in a while. I think it's been a while since Erykah's last performed in London. So for a lot of people, it's like, this is my chance to see her. A lot of people travelled down. I met and spoke to a lot of people on the day who said that they had travelled down quite far, actually, to see Miss Erykah. So I can understand their disappointment at her not coming. But I think Cross the Tracks responded quite quickly to it. They ended up moving a number of the other headliners and other acts a lot later on the stage. So instead of Erykah Badu closing, we had En Vogue closing. Madlib did like a longer set. We had Freddie Gibbs come out. And you know, the other acts were still absolutely fantastic. So while yes, it was a great loss not to have Erykah Badu there, I do feel like the other acts were fantastic in their own right. So the lineup. I'm just going to read out a couple of acts who personally I was excited to see, but also just to kind of quench your thirst so you can see the type of artists that come to Cross the Tracks. Now, like I said, we had Erykah Badu, Bad Bad Not Good, En Vogue, Eve, Madlib, The Sacred Souls, Amalu, Jalen Gonda, The Cavemen, Venor, Lady Ray, Aniko, Orion Sun, Sekou, Jamila Barry, Summer Pearl, Neil Francis, literally just to name a few. Now, if you've never watched a Melissa's Experience before, then let me tell you now, we basically review all aspects of the show. Yes, we talk about the important part being the performance itself, or the performances themselves, how good they were, but we also talk about things like the location. How good was the location? Ticket prices. Did I get bang for my buck? Set lists, lineups, we talk about it all right here on Melissa's Experience. So for Cross the Tracks, let's get into it. It was raining. It started pouring down with rain. Luckily not as much as it did at City Splash the next day, but it was raining, which did make it a little bit difficult because of course you want to wear your cutest little fit, you know. I was in like my cute little white fit, short skirt, whatever. It got rained on. It got all the way rained on. But with Cross the Tracks, I do feel like the grounds were well prepared for it. At no point was I slipping and sliding. At no point was it like a mud bath or anything. I think the grounds were well equipped for it. Now, like I said, there were 5 stages all like dotted around. I did get lost a few times. I personally would say that there weren't enough signs and signposts to get you from stage 1 to stage 3 to stage 5 to stage 4 to stage 2. Do you know what I mean? I kept getting lost. Now maybe I just got terrible bearings, but I do feel like there should have been a few more signposts or like just information centres dotted around all places to help people navigate the field a bit better. There were security guards around who could help you and direct you, at least that's what I did. So shout out to Robert, you were the go. You really took me where I needed to go. Tickets. Now there were different tiers of tickets. There was like general admission. I think the tiers went all the way up to like tier 6, which was £79.50 plus a booking fee, but they did start at £54. I want to say it was like £54. So it's a wide range. It is a wide range from 54 to 79, but I do think you are getting your money's worth. Now you could buy the tickets directly from the Cross the Tracks website. I couldn't see them anywhere else. It was literally directly from the Cross the Tracks website, which again, like, it's all right, you know what I mean? It's all right, it's okay, it's easy to use. You kind of know that it's trusted. You don't have to have that faff about, oh, my ticket's going to be cancelled. None of that. It said doors opened at 12. I got there at like 12:10, I want to say, and the doors were open. Like, everything was fine, everything was functioning, people were coming in. So it did start on time. There was no food and drink allowed into the festival. You can expect it because we had so many food vendors there. There were like a few sections with like different food vendors, but then there was like one whole strip of just food, and it was like back to back food. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it was cheap and cheerful. We were at a festival in London. We're at a festival in London. I think my meal was like £14, I want to say, for basically chicken and chips. Now, all in all, I had a great time. I had a really, really good time. The one thing that I really do enjoy is the fact that, you know, Cross the Tracks is known as the UK's #1 soul and jazz festival. And a lot of times with festivals who claim to be like, you know, the festival for set genre, this is the R&B festival, the jazz festival, the soul festival, you get a blend of music that is not that, right? You start going to a jazz festival and you're like, where's the jazz at though? Where's it at? But I feel like with Cross the Tracks, they got it right, and they also got the UK representation right. So like I said, I was over at stage 3, which was the derailed stage, and on that it was largely, I don't want to say completely and entirely, but it was largely UK acts that were on that stage. Like I said, you had Natanya, you had Seaboy, you had Jamila Barry, you had Sekou, you had some people who are really, really pushing the sound forward, representing the UK. That's my only critique. I would like to see more of that at festivals. We have so much of our own talent at home that we can put on those stages that would garner a great audience, a good audience size, and it would really put, you know, put our artists on the map. So it would have been nice, it really would have been nice to have like more UK acts as like headliners and have them dotted around a lot more stages as opposed to just being on the one stage, because then that one stage becomes known as the UK R&B stage, and that's not really what you're trying to do. But all in all, I will be back. I will be back because I've got hope that next year maybe Erica can come back, maybe she'll arrive, I don't know. But now that I've seen their lineup, I know that next year is also going to be a great time. Tickets are available already if you do want to cop your ticket for 2025, and they handled the Erica situation so well. After the festival had happened, they then offered those people who had tickets to this year's festival a discounted ticket to next year's festival. If that's not your fancy, they were offering like some money off another festival which has similar artists, and I think that's the great way to handle it, right? Address the elephant in the room, because hello, hi, most people, let me not say most, but a lot of people bought their tickets for Erykah Badu. So for that not to happen, for her not to come, it is kind of like, so my money. Oh, we did something about that. So it's a great alternative. So all in all, like I said, we had a great time. You know, there's all this discussion about R&B needing its own festival and like soul needing its own festival, and Cross the Tracks is doing a great thing in terms of like the jazz and soul scene. I would like to see more of it in the R&B scene, but you know, maybe people are cooking, let me give them that. Now if you've enjoyed this episode of Melissa's Experience, make sure you give us a like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, do something, and also make sure you give us a little follow. There are a lot of different R&B events happening in London. so many that we would love to attend. So if you know any, you have any that you'd like to suggest to us, make sure you hit us up at Rhythm in Britain or at that Melissa Dee. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the next episode. The next episode will be going to room 187, and I'm super excited about it because I think room 187 is a great idea. I think the team are so well organized. Every event that I've been to of theirs, I have had an absolute ball. And this one is the 187 in Park special featuring John B. Yeah, they don't know John B. I ain't going out, John B. Are you still down, John B? So I hope you lot are still down and you catch the very next episode of Melissa's Experience. I've been your host, Melissa Dee. I'll see you on the next one.